Kuldeep, and I created this app. It's sort of a bookkeeping app for truck drivers and for truck company bookkeeping staff. It has some cool features that are very useful for the truck industry. I'll show you a demo of it first. Okay, let me run this. It should take some time to load it. Okay, so this is basically a title page. This is the exit. If I press exit, it'll exit the program. Start. Okay, here are the back and the exit buttons, and here, this is where when you press this button, you can enter some details. Okay, let me just, for demo purposes, let me just enter random numbers. Okay. Okay, these are just type of expenses, and this is an income, and these are tax fields. So whatever I input here, then press save, it'll be saved to a CSV file named 2020 expenses. So let me save it, and it'll display this successful message. So, and it'll be saved, let me see, yeah, in the CSV file. Okay, and let me see if I can show you that it's added. Recently added. There should be a CSV file right here, and you can see the numbers that I just added are displayed here, right there, 100 and 1313. I just added those numbers right now. And let's close this. And this is where you can it'll sort the data in by income in increasing order. You can see this is from -20, negative 12, 6, 2, then it goes to 49,000. So it's in increasing order. I'm just doing this fast for the sake of time. Okay, and right here you go to you search for expenses and income, and then you enter a date. Let's say I want to search today's date, which is, and you got to do it in this format, day, month, and year format. So today is the 14th, and it's 2021. Okay, search. It'll display today's data, and this is the data that we just entered right now. And let me show you a previous data, yesterday's. Here's the previous data, yesterday's, and this is another data, 10. And I did not enter any data on the 11th. Let's see if something pops up. Nothing pops up. This message pops up. If there's no data, or your format is wrong. If your format is wrong, you gotta go back and fix it. And if you fix it and it still gives this message, that means there's no data for that date. Okay, let's go back. I don't want to be wasting time. Okay, back. Here, you can check in drivers. Okay, I can add Kuldeep, first driver, enter. And then you can see here that's being added for testing purposes. Let's say James, enter. Okay, Robert. Okay, I'm just gonna add 3. And then let's get those drivers out. Okay, Kuldeep should be the first one to come out. See? Because it's a queue. Okay, and then James, and then Robert. After that, no one's left. Okay, let's go back. And if you guys need a better demo, just message me and I'll explain the code in further details. Because of the time, I can't do much. It's only 5-minute time limit. Okay, just stay here. Let me explain you the code. Okay, these are just J panels, J labels, fonts, colors, J button. There's many of these. Okay, it's the whole code is 1457 line of code. So it's a lot. And then it has function. This is it. Okay, there's a term. Okay, object class, which stores these objects. Okay, let's go back. And then here's a truck frame, which is the launching app, the main method here. And this is the title screen method, which displays this. And this is the option screen, which this is the option screen, which displays this. And when this is the enter expense income function, when you press this, it goes to this method, and then when you press sort by income, it goes to this sort by income method. When you search expenses and income, it goes to search by date method, and then check in drivers message. And this is a read file which I got from the code from what Professor taught us, which is basically a copy and paste code and a little bit modified. Okay, and this is also a code I got from Professor, which is used during the class, and modified it according to my needs. The rest of the code, 99% of the code is original and is made by me, so that's not copied. Let me just go over two algorithm that I want to go over. It's for sake of time, because there's a time limit. I'm pretty sure I'm going over it. Okay, so when we sort income, okay, yeah, sort by income, this is displayed, right? How this is displayed, let me show you. Okay, when the button is pressed, it comes to this function, sort by income, and then basically creates a new table and then adds a header to it, okay? And it adds a header by this column identifier sets column, which is this. And these labels are stored in an object array column, okay? And let me move on to the real algorithm where it kicks in. Okay, so then it reads a file, which in that file it's basically reading the CSV file named 2020 expenses. It reads that file and then stores that to an array list named expense object, and then it uses quick sort to sort that expense object, and then it runs a for loop, which it gets all the data from the sorted array list and stores it to a string array data. And then after that, whatever that stored in our data gets stored to a table here by the function add row data. So it's basically adding the data to the table here. And then once the for loop ends, I just clear the array list so the double data don't get displayed. What I mean by that is, let me show it to you guys. So if I don't have this function, what would happen is, let me rerun this real quick. Let me show you guys what I mean by this. Okay, so let me go back. Sort by income. Once it's sorted. You see it's sorted list. Let me go back. Come back to this function again. I have a double list, and you can see I also had a nice little scroll bar here. Okay, I'll show it twice, which I don't want. That's why I wanted to clear the array list. That's cleared. Okay, let me close this and rerun it, and you guys can see it. Okay, that's that algorithm. Let me close it. Let me close this function. Now let me go to the next algorithm. Okay, watch. Start sort by income. It's only once. Let me go back and come back. It'll be just once. It won't do it twice. Okay, let me go to the second algorithm. I'm going over time. Search by date. Here's a nice little algorithm which goes here. Search expenses and income. And then you come down here. Yeah, okay, creates it doesn't kick in yet. It just checks. Okay. If basically, okay, if there's any data here, this function right here, while loop, clears it, so there's no data. Okay, let me go to the real algorithm that will kick in. Okay, so you enter a date here. Once you enter a date and then press search, the real algorithm that I'm gonna explain is gonna kick in. So once you enter a date, it'll basically, first thing it'll do is make this right here empty, and then I'll go to the read function and read the file and add that whatever is in that file, add it to array, and then it'll create this boolean function called found and set it to false, and then it'll run this for loop. Okay, whatever that index I is, it's gonna get get a date. It's gonna get the date object from that and set the date string date equal to that object. So each time it runs that. Okay, and then there's an if function. So whatever date you enter here, if that equals the object that it's getting from this function, get date, for that whole index, it's getting all the data from it. Then it's getting all the data from it, and also storing it to the string array. and which will be added to a data table right here. The data will be added to a table here in a row. And also the found is set to equal, and if it's not found, if nothing is found and it goes to this, the for loop will end here, and then it'll go to if function. The found will equal to false, and if it equals to false, it's gonna give you this error message, and it's gonna ask you to go back, and it's gonna give you option to go back and fix it and why you got an error. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And there's another. Okay, for the driver, I use a Q class with a linked list and call it driver Q. And this has a small little function here that I use, algorithm. But for the time's sake, this is all what I can show. But if you guys have any questions, please send me a message through Canvas. And other than that, this is it. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.